Welcome ladies and gentlemen, the name is Ben. In this video I bring you a list of the most overpowered, some would argue broken weapons in the history of Destiny. Some of the weapons on this list were widely used before they were nerfed. Few snuck by unnoticed for a long time before Bungie did what Bungie do. Still others exist in their original form today. Despite their many differences, most, if not all of them, have been the topic of at least one salt-infused forum rant. Whether it was on Reddit or the Bungie forums, people let other people know that these guns were too overpowered, or OP, or up, or O. So, without further ado, skis, number 10, the Talic.
You put the Talic at number 10? You better turn that list upside down before I turn your insides out up on here.
Relax, Savage, I'll explain. The Talic is currently obtainable from a quest offered by the gunsmith after reaching rank 3 on a Warlock character. The reason for its placement on this list is the fact that it is Warlock specific, and it is considered overpowered only when the perk Overflow is activated. A good trade-off if you think about it, and I think it is the reason Bungie has left this weapon in its original form. It is especially useful on Radiant Sunsinger builds. With the perk Overflow active, each bullet deals 60 damage on precision shots, allowing users to kill with 2 precision shots and 2 body shots. It has amazing effective range and a fire rate that is slightly greater than that of the Mida. This gun is OP. It is actually banned from competitive play even when other exotics weren't. Number 9. Nerwin's Mercy. Originally a 2-banger, this pulse rifle was obtainable from the Iron Banner. The vendor version sold by Lord Saladin came with the perks you see here. It was a consistent weapon, with amazing accuracy, but has taken a hit with the last major balancing patch. It is now a 3-shot kill that struggles to keep up with other archetypes like the Hawksaw or the Suros PDX-45, which boasts slightly higher fire rate for the same number of bursts to kill. It's a shame really, I really enjoy this gun. Number 8. Red Death. This pulse rifle is obtainable from exotic engrams, Xur, Nightfalls, and Raids. Originally it was a 2-banger dealing 108 damage per 3-round burst, with the perk Red Death allowing its users to stand their ground for much longer than any other weapon. It was also useful in raids and other PvE game types where modifiers prevented health regen. Short on health, simply shooting mobs or your own grenades or an explosive crate procced health regen. I used to have 3 of these, one on each character because it was my go-to gun for when I was having a bad game. Pull this out and play a little defensively, and before long I was back in action. Currently it is a 3-banger requiring 3 shots to kill, and I find it a little underwhelming, especially when facing other pulse rifle archetypes, although some do say it is still usable at medium ranges. Number 7. Hawk Moon. Unlike those of you on PlayStationopolis, we did not get the Hawk Moon until year 2, thanks Bungie. The Hawk Moon at close to medium ranges is still formidable. Compared to other hand cannons, it has amazing hit registration at range, and it is one of the few hand cannons that doesn't make you feel like you're firing blanks. It will frequently 2-bang for a kill, with 3 out of the 13 bullets dealing bonus damage. But that isn't something you can always count on, so its users have to constantly aim for precision shots to keep up with the competition that may not need precision shots for a quick kill. Before the great hand cannon nerf, this monster of a hand cannon used to kill with a single bullet to the head. And if that ain't cheese... Jeez. I remember watching Hawk Moon videos in year 1 thinking, I want to be where the real cheese is. That was a play on the Mermaid song. Then shut up. Number 6. Suros Regime. The Suros was the 3rd weapon Xur ever sold. Fun fact. In its original form, this auto rifle dealt 36 damage per headshot, and that was without the bottom half of the magazine, which could deal up to 55 damage per headshot. It was essentially a 6-hit kill, sometimes 4. And probably the first primary meta in Destiny. Some people argued that the fire rate of this gun was too low when using the perk Focused Fire, but there were ways around it. For example, you could spam the ADS button while firing to have the weapon's aim assist do all the aiming for you while firing at a higher rate. Or you could fire it like a scout rifle, dealing max damage with each bullet while firing faster than you would when using it full auto. I prefer using the first method, or aim assisted hipfire. It was less exhausting, and the weapon's aim assist would help keep shots on target. For more on that, check out the link in the description. Currently the Suros is balanced, I would say. It's not ridiculously overpowered and it is not underwhelming. If you have one, I would give it a try. It's a lot of fun, unless you run into number 5 on this list. The Doctrine of Passing. This auto rifle can be found in the Trials of Osiris. It is of the high fire rate, low impact archetype. Other weapons of this archetype include the Arminius D, which is sold by the Gunsmith, and Atheon's Epilogue from the Vault of Glass. What you see here is the OP perk combo, Counterbalance and Persistence. When this weapon fires at you, you will stagger to death. With a max stability setup, the Doctrine comes with a measly 50+ round magazine. Originally, each bullet dealt 19 damage to the head, allowing users to kill targets in 11 shots. But, to be honest, no one that has ever fired this gun has run out of bullets before getting the kill. Let's be real, you held the trigger down and it was over pretty soon. Not only that, if you've ever been hosed down by the Doctrine, you'll notice that it is impossible to move while it's happening. Since patch 2.2, it's been nerfed slightly, dealing only 15 damage per headshot, but with the magazine size and fire rate left unchanged, most people don't even notice the difference. Number 4. The Last Word. When I thought I'd never find a weapon as deadly and reliable and consistent and kind and loving as the Suros, I found the Last Word. And to this day I think no primary weapon in Destiny will ever complement a sniper rifle as well as the Last Word. In addition to having one of the highest fire rates in the game, the Last Word was originally a 2-banger. Can you imagine that? If you're new to Destiny, you probably can't even fathom that. Go ahead, try. See? You can't do it. The Last Word owed this overpoweredness to a bug that made the hipfire bonus damage proc when the gun was not being hipfired. That's 112 damage at medium, sometimes long range. At close range, it might as well have been a shotgun. One of the biggest differences users of the Last Word will notice is that it is not as consistent as it used to be while hipfiring. With patch 2.2, this was slightly improved when aiming down sight, but it is nowhere near what it used to be. It is still usable, definitely, so users can still engage targets up close with varied success. And we'll just leave it at that. Moving on. Next. Okay, here goes. Bring on the dislikes. Number 3. The Shmarn. No weapon in Destiny will ever traumatize a community as well as the Shmarn. This hand cannon is the only one to ever cause damage over time, thanks to the perk Mark of the Devourer, which does a couple things. First, it gives you false hope of surviving an encounter. Then, it quickly poisons your soul. It was miserable running into this gun. Its reign as Meta King was probably longer than that of any other gun. According to the patch notes, the damage over time of this weapon has been minimized in PvP. And I'm getting hives just talking about this, so number 2, the Hopscotch Pilgrim. You're probably thinking, wait, you think this weapon was more OP than the Shmarn? Yes. Let me elaborate. Unlike the previous weapon, the Hopscotch was not widely available. You had to farm a lot of strikes for this one to drop, and when it did, you had to get a good perk set for it to be considered broken. The reason this gun was considered OP was because people couldn't counter it by pulling out one of their own. If you've ever run into a single Thorn Runner near one, you know it wasn't long before the entire lobby followed suit. With the Hopscotch, not so much. The only counter to the Hopscotch was team shots or rushing with a shotgun. So, how was it broken? Well, the Hopscotch was broken in 2 ways. First off, it was a medium fire rate pulse rifle with the max damage that could be found on pulse rifles like the Messenger. Each headshot dealt 38 in damage. That's 114 damage per 3-round burst. Secondly, you could roll the perk Reactive Reload on the weapon, a perk that is no longer available on pulse rifles. This boosted the damage to 51 per headshot after the first kill and reload. Oh, and it may or may not have made the weapon a 2-body shot kill. Little side note. I had fun with this gun for about 2 weeks before it was nerfed. If you want to see more of this cheese, check out the link in the description. Before we hit the number 1 spot, here are some honorable mentions that are amazing, but didn't quite incite virtual riots or major nerfs like the ones we've already seen. The Fatebringer, the Messenger, the Grasp of Malik, the Mida Multi-Tool, the Hawksaw and its analog, the Suros PDX 45. Now, for the number 1 spot, the Vex Mythoclast. Found in the Vault of Glass from killing Atheon, the Vex Mythoclast was arguably the most sought-after weapon in the months following the launch of Destiny. The version you see here is actually the post-patch version. This weapon was so OP it got nerfed before many people got a chance to try it. Here's some footage from a guy named Rainbow. Watch this, just watch. That's 50 plus damage per headshot. That's a 4-hit kill on a gun that has no business firing this fast. Oh, and it had 56 bullets in a magazine with the extended mag. Just absolute meltage. I'm not sure who field tested this weapon initially, or if Bungie was simply trying to create buzz around the raid with this new oh-so-secret weapon found only in the Vault of Glass. Yes, come inside. But they did a great job in making people rage quit whenever they came up against the day 1 version of this gun. I never had the day 1 version, but even after the first patch, which came within days of the first forum rants, this weapon was still devastating. You can check out the full gameplay by following the link in the description. Anywho, that's my list of the 10 most OP and or broken weapon primaries in Destiny. You agree? Did I forget one or two? Or maybe was your list incorrect? Also, if Bungie created a playlist where all the weapons you saw here functioned as they once did, would you dare set foot in said playlist? Think about it, then type at me about it. Until next time, God bless and deuces.